All right, looks like you're ready for a deep dive with us. And today we're going to be looking at sleep, how it affects our health.
Yeah.
We've got two articles that we're going to be pulling from, both from Mirror Online.
Okay.
One is from January 31st of this year,
Yep.
2025,
Hmm?
called, quote, "Silent Killer Habit at Night May Increase Your Risk of 3 Chronic Diseases," end quote.
Oh, interesting.
And then the other one's from February 19th of last year,
Oh.
so 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And this one's called "Sleep Problems Can Trigger a Series of Mental Health Issues Leading to Serious Disorders, Study Finds."
Yeah, some heavy stuff.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about how sleep connects to dementia, diabetes, our immune system,
Right.
mental health, all sorts of interesting things.
Well, as an expert, I can tell you that there is a growing body of research that is really highlighting the absolute critical importance of sleep
Yeah.
to both our physical and mental well-being.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about feeling rested, folks.
Right,
It's
exactly.
really much more than that.
The first article really kind of just jumps right in and talks about how insufficient sleep is a silent killer.
Yeah.
They quote Dr. Eric Werg,
Okay.
and he says if you're regularly getting less than 6 hours of sleep a night, it increases your risk of premature death, cancer, diabetes, dementia.
Now, I do want to be clear here.
Yeah.
While more research is definitely needed on the direct link between sleep deprivation and both cancer and dementia,
Okay.
the connection between lack of sleep and an increased risk of diabetes is pretty clear.
Mm-hmm.
When you're sleep-deprived, your body, it just struggles to regulate blood sugar.
Right.
And so that imbalance can really increase the likelihood of developing type 2 diabetes.
And the article also talks about how
Yeah.
getting just 4 hours of sleep can shut down your immune system by 70%.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy to me.
It is a scary thought. And, it makes sense if we really think about what's happening in our brains while we're sleeping,
Right.
particularly during REM sleep. That's when your brain's really busy clearing out damaged proteins. It's almost like taking out the garbage.
Yeah. Right.
This process is vital for keeping our brains functioning optimally.
Mm-hmm.
Memory, focus, even mood are all affected.
Yeah.
If you're not getting enough sleep, that cleaning crew just can't do its job properly.
Right.
And your whole system suffers, including your immune response.
So it's like our brains need to defrag like a computer
Yes, exactly.
to run properly.
That's a great analogy.
And speaking of how our brains work during sleep, the article also talks about the two main stages of sleep,
Okay.
REM and non-REM, which is also known as delta wave sleep. I
Yeah.
had no idea that they each had like completely separate roles.
It's true.
Like why do we need both?
So we've talked about how important REM sleep is for cognitive function.
Mm-hmm.
But during non-REM sleep,
Mm-hmm.
your body shifts its focus to physical repair and regeneration.
Mm.
It's like your body's pit crew coming in to fix things up while you're out of the race.
Oh, interesting.
Cells are regenerating, muscles are repairing,
Yeah.
immune system is getting a boost.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, though, the amount of non-REM sleep that we get actually declines as we age.
Really?
So that makes prioritizing sleep even more important the older we get.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it really is like
It-
hitting the refresh button
for your whole body.
for your entire body, yeah.
Yeah.
So this article also talks about insomnia,
Okay.
and it's defined as having trouble sleeping regularly.
Hmm.
And they list a bunch of symptoms like difficulty falling asleep, waking up during the night, waking up early, and not being able to go back to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever had any of those issues?
Oh, absolutely. And, it's actually more common than people realize.
Yeah.
It's really important to differentiate, though,
Mm-hmm.
between short-term and long-term insomnia.
Okay.
If you're experiencing any of those symptoms pretty regularly,
Mm.
it's definitely worth having a chat with your doctor.
Okay.
They can help you figure out if there are any underlying causes
Mm.
and discuss potential solutions, whether that's simple lifestyle changes or, in some cases, maybe a short course of sleeping pills.
Right.
It really depends on the individual.
I had this weird thing for a while where I would wake up at 3 a.m. every night. My mind would just start racing, and I couldn't fall back asleep.
I've been there.
It was awful.
Yeah, they're tough.
But shifting gears a bit,
Okay.
I thought it was really interesting how the second article really focuses in on the link between sleep and mental health.
Right.
It even says that sleep problems can actually be like an early warning sign for serious psychiatric disorders.
That's a really key takeaway from this research.
Yeah.
The study that they highlight found that insomnia is particularly prevalent among individuals with mental health disorders.
Hmm.
And those sleep disturbances can often make their existing conditions even worse.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is particularly worrisome for young adults
Okay.
who are already at a higher risk for developing mental health issues in general. And they tend to just experience more disruptions to their sleep patterns anyway.
It's kind of like a
It is.
vicious cycle.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, poor sleep worsens mental health. Mental health leads to poor sleep.
Exactly.
And the article points out specific types of sleep problems that are linked to mood disorders,
Right.
like depression and anxiety and psychosis, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Absolutely. And this is where understanding our circadian rhythms becomes so important.
Okay.
These are our internal clocks that regulate our sleep-wake cycles.
Mm-hmm.
They're affected by things like light exposure and hormone production.
Yeah.
When those rhythms get disrupted,
Hmm.
like with people who work night shifts
Yeah.
or have irregular sleep schedules,
Mm-hmm.
it can really contribute significantly to mental health problems.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Speaking of circadian rhythms,
Yes.
there was this one finding that really surprised me.
Okay.
It said that people who are genetically predisposed to less variation in their activity levels between rest and wakefulness are actually more prone to depression and mood swings.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
So it's not just about how much you sleep, but also about how your body naturally transitions between being active and resting.
Right, right.
It's incredible how much we're learning
Yeah.
about these intricate connections.
Yeah, it really is.
It's exciting.
It is fascinating.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, it's like our bodies and our minds are playing this super intricate game of tag,
Right.
constantly influencing each other.
Yeah, and we try to separate like physical and mental well-being, but it's
They are.
really all connected.
They're totally interconnected.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about how crucial sleep is
Hmm.
for our overall health, but all
Yeah.
this information,
It can be a bit overwhelming, right?
it's a little overwhelming. Yeah,
Yeah.
like where do we even start
Well,
if we want to make sleep a priority?
I always suggest starting with the areas where you have the most control. So think about things like establishing a consistent sleep schedule,
Right.
even on the weekends,
Oh,
reducing screen time an hour or two before bed,
Mm-hmm.
creating a relaxing bedtime routine,
Yeah.
even just becoming more aware of your current sleep habits is a great first step.
Yeah, it's like any habit change. You know, start small,
Build.
build momentum,
No,
acknowledge the little victories along the way.
absolutely.
One thing that's helped me tremendously is being more intentional about my evenings.
Okay.
You know, I used to just think I could crash into bed
Mhm.
after a hectic day and magically fall asleep.
Right.
But I've realized that creating a calming pre-sleep routine is
It's crucial.
super crucial. Yeah.
Winding down before bed really signals to your body and mind
Right.
that it's time to shift gears into rest mode.
Yeah.
It's like giving yourself permission to step away from the demands of the day
Mm-hmm.
and turn your attention inward. This could involve taking a warm bath, reading a book, listening to calming music, practicing relaxation techniques.
Yeah, and don't underestimate the power of darkness.
Oh, absolutely.
I finally gave in and bought blackout curtains.
Good for you.
And oh my gosh, let me tell you.
It makes a difference.
What a difference.
Darkness is essential for melatonin production,
Right.
which, as we know, regulates our sleep-wake cycles.
Yeah.
So dimming the lights in the evening,
Mm-hmm.
ensuring your bedroom is dark for sleep,
Right.
these could dramatically improve your sleep quality.
It's like creating a cozy little sleep sanctuary.
I love that, a sleep sanctuary.
Yeah, but what about those of us who struggle with, like, racing thoughts at night?
Oh, yeah.
You know I'm not the only one who lies awake,
Like, yeah, you're not alone.
replaying conversations or stressing about my to-do list.
Racing thoughts are definitely a common experience,
Yeah.
especially when stress and anxiety levels are high.
Right.
One technique that I found to be really helpful is journaling before bed.
Oh,
It's like transferring those thoughts out of your head and onto paper,
yeah.
creating space for relaxation,
So you're just kind of like
getting it out.
getting it all out.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
a good idea.
Yeah.
I've also heard that mindfulness practices like meditation can be helpful
Absolutely.
for calming a busy mind.
Mindfulness practices like meditation or deep breathing exercises
Mm-hmm.
can be incredibly effective for reducing stress and promoting relaxation.
Yeah.
They help us shift our focus from the constant chatter of our thoughts
Mm-hmm.
to the present moment,
Right.
allowing us to settle into a state of calm and ease.
I think a lot of people are intimidated by the idea of meditation.
I think you're right.
They envision like sitting in a complete silence for hours and
Yeah.
clearing their minds entirely.
Right.
But even a few minutes of focused breathing can make a noticeable difference, right?
Exactly. Mindfulness isn't about achieving a blank mind.
Right.
It's about observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment. And the more we practice, the easier it becomes to tap into that sense of calm and stillness, even amidst the chaos of life.
And the best part is you can practice mindfulness anytime, anywhere.
You can, it's true.
It's like having a portable relaxation toolkit on hand at all times.
All of that.
But what about those nights when, despite our best efforts, we just can't seem to switch off?
Oh, here you.
Are there any other tricks we can try?
One technique that might surprise you is to actually get out of bed
Okay.
and do something relaxing until you feel sleepy.
Really?
Yeah,
I always thought the rule was to stay in bed and try to force yourself to sleep.
that's a common misconception.
Huh.
Lying in bed when you're struggling to sleep can actually create a negative association between your bed and wakefulness.
Oh, right.
So by getting up and doing something relaxing,
Yeah.
you break that association
All right.
and you give your body a chance to naturally transition into a sleepier state.
So it's like hitting the reset button and probably much less frustrating than tossing and turning for hours.
Yes, much less frustrating.
Speaking of frustrating, what about those mornings when we wake up feeling groggy and unrested?
Yeah.
Even though we've gotten like a decent amount of sleep?
I know what you mean.
Is there anything we can do to kind of kickstart our day on a more positive note?
You bet. One of the simplest yet most effective strategies is to expose yourself to natural light
Okay.
as soon as possible after waking up.
Okay.
This helps regulate your circadian rhythms and sends a clear signal to your body that it's time to be awake and alert.
So getting a dose of sunshine first thing in the morning is a great way to start the day.
It is. It really is.
But I know not everyone has like the luxury of a leisurely morning routine.
True.
So what about those of us who are like always rushing out the door?
Even a few minutes of daylight can make a difference.
Okay.
Try opening your blinds as soon as you wake up
Right.
or stepping outside for a quick walk. And if you're truly pressed for time,
Yeah.
even just turning on a bright light can help stimulate your brain and boost alertness.
So we're like tricking our brains into thinking it's daytime,
Exactly.
even if it still feels like the middle of the night.
That's a great way to put it.
And while light exposure is crucial in the morning,
Yes,
it's equally important to limit exposure to blue light in the evening.
absolutely. Blue light emitted from electronic devices like smartphones and computers
Right.
can suppress melatonin production
Yeah.
and disrupt our sleep-wake cycles.
So put down the phone, step away from the screen.
That's a message we hear all the time, but it's so important
It's so important.
for good reason.
Yeah, yeah.
If you do need to use electronic devices in the evening,
Mm-hmm.
try using blue light-blocking glasses or adjusting the settings on your devices to reduce blue light emission.
Right.
These small adjustments can really significantly impact your sleep quality.
So it seems like being mindful of our light exposure throughout the day is key.
It really is.
Morning light to wake us up.
Yep.
Evening darkness to help us wind down.
It's like a natural sleep-wake switch.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've explored, the importance of sleep,
Mm-hmm.
all the different factors that can affect it.
Right.
Now let's talk about like what can we actually do
Yeah.
to start improving our sleep like tonight?
Great question. So one of the most effective strategies and often the most overlooked is consistency.
Okay.
You really want to establish a regular sleep-wake cycle,
Mm-hmm.
even on the weekends.
Oh, okay.
This helps to regulate your body's natural rhythm,
Okay.
making it easier to both fall asleep and wake up feeling refreshed.
So no more sleeping in on Saturdays, huh?
Well, everything in moderation.
Yeah, right. Right.
But yeah, consistency is key.
Okay. What else can we do to kind of set ourselves up for sleep success?
Take a look at your bedroom environment.
Okay.
Is it conducive to sleep? Ideally, you want it to be cool,
Mm-hmm.
dark, and quiet. Investing in things like blackout curtains or a white noise machine or even earplugs.
Yeah.
Those can make a big difference.
Right.
Most importantly, I would say, reserve your bed for sleep and intimacy only.
Oh, that's cool.
Avoid working or watching TV or scrolling on your phone in bed.
Right.
You want to create that strong mental association between your bed and sleep.
I am so guilty of working in bed.
I think a lot of us are.
Yeah, no wonder I have trouble winding down at night.
It's a common problem.
So creating that sleep sanctuary is key.
Right.
And what about those pre-sleep rituals we discussed?
Yes. Think about activities that help you de-stress and unwind.
Mm,
That could be anything from taking a warm bath,
right.
reading a book, listening to calming music,
Yeah.
practicing gentle yoga or stretching,
Hmm.
or even just spending quality time with loved ones.
That's nice.
Yeah. It's all about creating a buffer zone between the busyness of the day and the tranquility of sleep.
What about food and drinks?
Good question.
Anything we should consume or avoid in the hours leading up to bedtime?
It's generally a good idea to avoid heavy meals.
Okay.
Caffeine and alcohol close to bedtime,
Mm-hmm.
they can really interfere with sleep quality and make it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep.
Right.
If you're feeling hungry before bed, opt for a light, easily digestible snack,
Okay.
like a handful of nuts or a piece of fruit.
So no late night pizza binges.
Probably not the best idea.
Noted. But what if we've implemented all these strategies and we're
Mhm.
still tossing and turning at night?
Right. Well, if you're consistently having trouble sleeping, it's essential to rule out any underlying medical conditions.
Okay.
So talk to your doctor about your sleep concerns.
Right.
They can help determine if there are any contributing factors
Yeah.
and recommend appropriate treatment options.
And seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness.
I completely agree.
Um, but even if there aren't any underlying medical issues, sometimes we just need a little extra help to relax and unwind.
Of course.
Are there any natural sleep aids you recommend?
There are certain herbs and supplements that have a long history of use for promoting relaxation and sleep.
Okay.
Things like chamomile, valerian root, magnesium, melatonin.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crucial to talk to your doctor before taking any new supplements,
Yeah.
especially if you're taking other medications or have any health conditions.
Always good advice. No self-prescribing.
Right. Better be safe than sorry.
So we've talked about consistency,
Yep.
relaxing bedtime routine,
Mm-hmm.
a sleep-friendly environment,
Right.
possibly some natural sleep aids.
Yes.
Anything else we should keep in mind?
One often overlooked factor is exercise.
Oh, okay.
Regular physical activity can significantly improve sleep quality.
Okay.
However, avoid exercising too close to bedtime as this can make it harder to fall asleep.
So morning workouts are a win-win.
They are. They energize you for the day and help you sleep better at night.
But what about those days when stress and anxiety are just super high?
Absolutely.
Does that affect our sleep?
Stress and anxiety are major sleep disruptors. It's crucial to find healthy ways to manage stress,
Right.
whether it's through exercise or meditation, spending time in nature,
Yeah.
or pursuing activities you genuinely enjoy.
It's about finding those things that help you unwind.
Exactly.
And remember, it's okay to ask for help if you're feeling overwhelmed.
Couldn't agree more.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of sleep,
Yes.
what's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
Sleep is not a luxury. It's a necessity. It's
Mm,
fundamental to our physical, mental, and emotional well-being.
right.
By making sleep a priority and implementing some of the strategies we've discussed,
Yeah.
you can unlock the power of restorative sleep and live a healthier, happier, the more fulfilling life.
I love that. So there you have it.
There you go.
A deep dive into the fascinating world of sleep.
Indeed.
We've covered so much,
Well, yeah.
from the science of sleep to
Mhm.
practical tips for improving your sleep tonight.
Yes.
The most important takeaway, sleep is a superpower.
It really is.
It's the foundation of a healthy, vibrant life.
Absolutely.
Make it a priority, invest in it,
Yeah.
and reap the rewards.
You will, I promise.
And be patient with yourselves. It takes time to establish new habits
It does.
and find what really works for you.
You got it.
So here's a little challenge for you. Track your sleep for a week
Good idea.
and see if you notice any patterns or connections to your mood, energy levels, or even your decision making.
Fascinating.
You might be surprised by what you discover.
You might be.
And with that, we will leave you to drift off into dreamland. Sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams, everyone.